Have you always wanted to learn Greek but felt intimidated by the sheer amount of strange letters we have? For example, you see this and it's literally a trident, and also the fact that we have 5 different ways to say E. But that's why I'm here to tell you exactly how you should read the Greek alphabet, the pronunciation, and a few small rules you need to follow. By the end, you will be able to read everything in Greek as long as you memorize the contents of this video. I'm your teacher Dimitris, and allow me to show you how to read the Greek alphabet. I'm going to use a different method that it is commonly used. I'm going to first show you the vowels, then pair them up with the consonants. That way, you can see the pronunciation and the letters together. With no more delays, let's get into it. On the top, we have our 5 vowels. A, O, I, E, U. Once again, A, O, I, E, U. The key to pronouncing these correctly is to cut the sounds short. In English, for example, we usually have longer pronunciation on the vowels, like A. In Greek, you should just say A. Just like that, very short. Same logic should apply to the rest of the vowels. So like A, O, I, E, U. And not A or O or I. Very, very short. A, O, I. Small note here, as you may have noticed, the U is actually 2 letters together. I will explain why later, but for now you want to read it as 1 letter, U. Now let's introduce some consonants. For the first, we have the letter Vita, with the pronunciation of V. V. So for example, if I pair Vita with the vowels, it will sound something like this. Va, vo, vi, ve, vu. And that's it. Another important note here is that the names of the letters are completely different than the pronunciation. For example, the letter we just saw is called Vita. That's the name of it. But the pronunciation in the word will be V. Same with A. The name is Alpha, but we pronounce it as A. Also, feel free to pause the video at any moment to practice yourself as well. Okay, moving on to our next letter, Kappa, with the pronunciation K. K. Let's pair this one up with the vowels. Ka, Ko, Ki, Ke, Ku. Easy. Next letter is Lambda, with the pronunciation of L. If we pair it up, it will sound something like this. La, Lo, Li, Le, Lu. Let's take a pause and make a word. Kala. One more time. Kala. Kala means good. Here we used the previously learned letters, kappa and lambda, and I just wanted to show you that it can be also very simple to create a word like this in Greek. For the next letter, we have taf, with the pronunciation of just T. Let's pair it up. Ta, to, ti, te, tu. After, we have mi, with the pronunciation of M. M. Pairing it up will sound something like this. Ma, mo, mi, me, mu. Next up is its cousin, ni, with the pronunciation of n. N. Be careful here because the lowercase letter is the exact same as the English V, and it's very easy to get them mixed up, especially in the beginning. Now let's pair it up. Na, no, ni, ne, nu. Moving on, we have the famous P, with the pronunciation of P. P. Let's pair it up. Pa, po, pi, pe, pu. Next letter is Ro, with the pronunciation of R. R. Let's pair it up so it can be a bit more accurate here. Ra, ro, ri, re, ru. For this one, you really have to roll your R, and it can be difficult in the beginning. Also, this is another letter that is identical to the English P. So once again here, be careful. Next letter is Fi, with the pronunciation of F. F. It is basically our F. Let's try pairing it up. Fa, Fo, Fi, Fe, Fu. For the next letter, we have one that is very similar in writing to Fi. That letter is Psi. Psi. It's that little trident that we saw at the very beginning. This one has the pronunciation of Ps. Ps. Here's what it sounds like with the vowels. Psa, Pso, Psi, Pse, Psu. Next letter here is Hi. Hi. With the pronunciation of H. H. Let's pair it up with the vowels. Ha, Ho, Hi, He, Hu. As you can hear, this is very similar to the English H. Let's now take a look at a letter with 3 letters. That letter is Sigma, with the pronunciation of S. S. Together with the vowels, it will sound something like this. Sa, So, Si, Se, Su. Now let's see why we have 3 letters instead of just the lowercase and the uppercase. The first letter, this one, is the uppercase. The second is the lowercase. And the third one, we only use at the end of the word. We also call it ending sigma. Let's look at an example. The word kalos ends with an S. Since the S is at the end, it has to be written in the third way. That's pretty much it. Now let's move on to the letter zeta, with the pronunciation of Z. Z. With the vowels, it will sound like this. Za, Zo, Zi, Ze, Zu. After this, we have a more difficult letter. Xi. Xi. With the pronunciation of X. X. Now with the vowels Xa, Xo, Xi, Xe, Xu. This one here is similar to the English X. Okay, moving on to our next letter, Rama, with the pronunciation R. R. This one is one of the more difficult letters to do correctly. The sound comes from the back of the throat. R. Now let's pair it up. Ra, Ro, Yi, Ye, Ru. You can think of it as a very soft G. For the next letter, we have Delta, with a pronunciation of the. The. And pairing it up will sound something like this. Da, do, di, de, du. The next letter is similar to delta, yet very different. It is theta, with the pronunciation of th. Th. With the vowels, it will be tha, tho, thi, the, thu. We're almost done with the alphabet, but there are a few more letters we need to discuss. Ypsilon, iota, and ita. The iota we actually already know from the I vowel that we have been pronouncing all this time. However, the ita, ypsilon, and iota letters all have the same pronunciation. The only difference is that they are written differently. You might ask, why do we need 3 letters to say I? Well, in the past they used to have different sounds, but due to simplification of Greek and the many changes, they are now just I. Same thing happens with the letter omega and omicron. Omicron you recognize from the vowels before. O. Omega also has the same pronunciation. O. But it's just written differently. So now we have 3 I and 2 O. While they are pronounced the same, words require specific spelling. Some need ypsilon, while others need iota. It just depends on the word. And that, my learners, was the Greek alphabet. It definitely has its quirks, but it's not the most difficult in the world. Also, to make sure you're pronouncing the words correctly, we have this little stress here. What it does is basically tell you how to pronounce the word. For example, the word kala has a stress on the last a. So we read it as kala. But let's say the stress was on the first a. Then we would read it as kala. Completely different. So it is very important when you're reading to stress the part where the stress actually is. So you're pronouncing the word correctly. Last thing I need to mention is the concept of letter combinations. It is when you put two different letters of the alphabet next to each other and they usually make a different sound. For example, the letters mi and pi. If you put these two together like this, they will make the sound b. The same happens with the vowel u for us that we saw before. O and y put together make the sound u. We only have a few of those, but if you want me to make a video on them, please let me know and I will gladly do it. I really hope you enjoyed this one and I really hope it helped you learn the alphabet. As usual, like and subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any more Greek videos, and I will see you then on the next one. Yassas!